All right, family. Thank you all for the patience. We're going to go ahead and dive right into this information. But before we do, I want to go ahead and just allow you guys to leave this moment coming in the first 2 minutes of this video. Of most of my videos, I love to just extend gratitude. I love to extend gratitude for all of you guys, first and foremost, for being here, for showing up for yourselves, for doing the inner work. I believe the people I attract are on that frequency of love, that love frequency. And my goal ultimately has always been from the beginning to empower, enrich, and educate a billion lives. And so that's the frequencies that I'm giving out constantly, is just frequencies of love and gratitude, because I know that those are the two highest levels of vibration. So let's raise this vibration on this live stream. We're here right now live with 4 individuals. And I know there's going to be tons of more people that are tuning into this information. I can think back to 2021, back I believe it was in May of 20, or not 2021, excuse me, May of 2023. There was a video that I made. How can one be denied their God-given right? How can one be denied their right to extend credit? I believe the name of that video was called. I've got a part 2 on that video as well. I think that one is like pinned on my YouTube channel. But those 2 videos alone, tons of tremendous value within there. And I put together things for all of you guys. And over the years, everything that I've been doing has been for a reason, right? It's all been leading up to this point that we're living out in, that we're currently living out. And so it's been beautiful just to see it all play out. I'm grateful for all of the lives we've been able to empower. I'm grateful to have literally not empowered a million lives yet, but we've empowered a million. We've discharged over $1 million in debt since 2021. And I say this all not to impress you at all. I could care less to impress any one of you guys, but to impress upon each and every single one of you guys that you yourself can also discharge any amount that you guys desire coming into this. If you guys are new to consumer law, this isn't anything about a UCC process. I don't teach any of that. I don't teach anything about any negotiable instruments. That's not to say that none of those do work, but I've personally never been able to get the results that I've invested into those things and courses and different things. But what I've seen, what I've came to realization of, and what's worked for me over the years, is using these consumer law codes and being able to discharge debts from my report. I had student loans on my reports. I had things in collections from the university that I went to as well too, back in North Dakota when I was playing college football. So I had a lot of these things on my consumer report, medical bills, where I had some, I think I had another phone bill from AT&T that was in collections as well too. So I had tons of debt on my consumer report, and I'm only 20, 21 at the time, just coming into this information, finding out about it. And that's where I came across and going through different courses. I always tell my story. I believe the story is the most important thing, as it's what led me here today. And I always pay homage to my mentors, to the individuals that have helped me get to this position. So I invested into him 500's recession proof. I seen him, spoke at his event live, told him exactly as such. Super grateful for you. Because of you, I've been able to help so many people in the credit space. But that led me to Brother Omar, and I talked about him on my last video as well too. And if there's any other, individuals that I do recommend for all of you guys to go look into when it comes to this space, is Brother Omar and the Bureau Bullies. He's whom I've personally learned and still to this day learn a lot of information in the consumer law space. I'm not the one, and I never have been the one to act as if I know it all. And I don't. And every single day I'm still learning. And I believe the best leaders in this world, right? The best leaders are the best students. And every single day I'm seeing, how can I learn? How can I grow more so that overall I can be able to give more? Because if I can receive more, now I can have more to give as well too. And so that's everything that I've always done. The intentions with everything that I've done, invested into, all of the books that I've read, everything that I do on a day-to-day basis. Right? I don't just talk about these things, I live these things. I go through the pain, I go through the adversity, just like you guys. So I don't ever look at myself as anything bigger or less than. I understand that we're all one, and that power of oneness is what's going to take us to heights that none of us could truly imagine. And that's just what it's about at the end of the day. And there's been tons of separation, especially throughout, my ancestral lineage of me being indigenous here in the Americas, in the North Americas, the largest genocide literally ever has been done to our people. And I understand that how they've continuously, you know, still genocided our people is by separating our people and by coming together, by understanding that white, black, brown, wherever you come from, whatever nation you come from, whatever part of the world you come from, at the end of the day, we're all soul beings and we're all here living out this human experience, right? We're all out here right now living this human experience, but at the end of the day, we're all soul beings. And with that being said, us just tapping back into that oneness, right? As we are all one, right? As above, so below, right? I'm literally you and you are literally me. And the moment that we understand that there is no you, even as there is no you, it's I and I, right? I and I, like I am you and you are me, literally to put into other terms, but it's I and I, right? We are literally one. And understanding that power of oneness is what's going to allow us all to reach those new heights. So, that was my spiel on gratitude. That was my spiel on gratitude for the day. I'm going to allow you guys that are here right now, I haven't seen anything in the chat box, to express yourself as to what you're grateful for. I'm going to pull out my laptop and show you guys a couple things that are going to help you guys that have been denied and what steps to take. I'm going to show you guys AI that we put together that will be released to the public come July. I'm hoping on early July, but if not early July, sometime mid-July. As right now, I'm just getting more testimonies and more people to use this bot within my mentorship and within our private communities. As I did mention as well too, the personal credit blueprint is no longer active. Right now, we're simply only working with those that are looking to learn how to do for self. If you guys don't have the time, if you guys aren't looking to learn how to do for self, I can recommend you guys and refer you guys to different credit companies that I believe follow our process to the T. And so a lot of them have been franchise companies that have came to us looking to franchise, get our administrative process, get our step by steps, and they've gone out, they've rebranded and done their own thing in the credit space, and which is amazing and which is the goal at the end of the day. And so I've got tons of different companies that are in the credit space. For those of you guys that do want an automated system, we've got that. But my VAs overseas, I've been transitioning them strictly into building up this multifamily investment fund that we're creating. Training them to be taking calls, calling these brokers, underwriting deals, etc. And so that's where my VAs and their focus has been. Yes, we've got VAs as well, that specialize in the credit space. And if you guys are seeking, help with credit and you guys want a VA, a virtual assistant, along with this AI bot, we can also offer that as well too. But I'm headed actually over to Japan, as I mentioned, here very shortly. My flight is actually Sunday out of LAX to Japan. From Japan, I'm going to be out in Japan for about a day and a half, a day. And then on the 7th, I'm going to be headed to Vietnam. All right, the 7th, I'm going to be headed to Vietnam. And in Vietnam, I'll be out there for about 3 weeks, connecting with tons of manufacturers, tons of investors, etc. But manufacturing and investors and investing or investors, can't speak today. I've been on the phone all day. Literally what I'm about to show y'all right now, people have been blowing my phone up just to get access, just to see this, just to ask questions about it. Yo, can it do this? Can it, is it only going to get me deletions or can it also give me remedy, right? If I've been denied credit, can it help me draft up a letter for me being denied and my adverse action letter? Can it help me with all these things? Well, I'm here to answer all those questions. But before we do, and as we do get into this call, continue to just drop, for those that are just tuning in, what it is that you guys are grateful for today. I love to start out every call, everything that I do, just as a whole, with gratitude, right? Expressing one's gratitude. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my laptop. I've had it charging here for you guys. But now I'm going to show you guys a little bit of this AI bot. And for those of you that have been denied, I'm going to show you guys how it will be helpful. So as I go get my laptop, I want you guys to enjoy these beautiful sounds of nature and this flute. And just take a deep breath. Just be here, be now, be present. All right, we'll be here. We'll be quick, less than 30 minutes. So we'll be here for about another 20 minutes. I appreciate all of you guys for being here and for being now. All right, get in tune with your breath. All right, get in tune with your breath. Get in tune with your body. See what, if there's anywhere that feels any tension, right? And breathe into those areas. Analyze those areas. See as to why you may feel tight in those areas. All right, let me go get my laptop and we'll get right to it. All right, who's ready? Who's ready? Who's ready? Who's ready? Who's ready? I don't think y'all are ready, man. I don't think y'all are ready. I don't think y'all are ready. So nobody's grateful for anything today on this live. That is just insane to me. Well, challenge for y'all then today. Go out and find something to be grateful for today, because I promise you, there's so much in your life, regardless of what you're going through, regardless of what you're growing through, to be grateful. So much, so much. So let's see, we're here right now. I got my laptop pulled up, and I'm gonna talk into this AI just so y'all can hear me here on this live as well. And I'm gonna see what it's going to draft up for you guys, right? There's nothing in here right now. This is it. This is exactly what you guys will be able to see on your end. It's fresh, right? We don't got nothing drafted up like in regards to such. So I'm gonna let them know. I've recently gone to the dealership and I was denied credit from the dealership. As I was at the dealership, they pulled my credit and I left there with 15 inquiries. They told me that I would receive an adverse action letter in the mail explaining as to why I was denied from these lenders. This is a clear violation of truth in lending. I want you to use case law studies to back how they have been in violation of truth in lending, as well as the Equal Credit Opportunity and the FCRA. I feel as if my rights have been infringed upon, and I want help drafting up a letter for this dealership denying me my right to extend credit, as I'm well aware that through every credit transaction, I am the one whom is extending credit as defined in Truth in Lending's definition of the term credit. As the term credit defines, it is the right granted. Once again, it states a right, and we are granting these rights. It is not a privilege to these corporations. Furthermore, I want to elaborate on how I feel that I have been discriminated. I have been discriminated in ways as my color and my age, I believe, have been a big reason as to why they have denied me credit. All right, just coming up with some scenario that I get, oftentimes, especially at these dealerships, people are like, yo, I was denied credit. I don't know how to respond to them. So it's, I talked into it. It drafted up, what I said, right? Now I'm going to tell it to draft me up a letter to respond to this company. I said, draft me up a letter to respond to this company. Boom. It says, based on your experience at the dealership, we can now draft a powerful legal notice citing Truth in Lending, the Equal Credit Opportunity, and the Fair Credit Reporting Act. It tells you guys what violations are there. Truth in Lending, we got 15 U.S.C. 1602E. Right, the term credit is defined as a right granted by a creditor to a debtor. In Williams versus Public Finance Corp. Now we're inserting case law study, right? We've already, like I said, I've programmed this from all of my information, all of my knowledge over the years of case law studies of different, scenarios that I've gone through personally and helped people get out of personally, right? We're putting it, let me make sure y'all can hear me. Can y'all hear me? Y'all can hear me? Y'all can hear me? Let me put that in the background a little bit lighter. We got some FCRA violations, right? In Dennis versus BEH1 LLC, the court ruled unauthorized inquiries are grounds for damages. Right? We got equal credit opportunity discrimination. Right? We've got case law studies with that as well too. And then we went ahead and drafted up a whole letter for us as well too. Let's listen to this letter. All right, this is the letter right here, so y'all know I'm not just making this up. If y'all like this content, if y'all want to see more of this, for everybody that is here, let's get the likes up on this video. It takes nothing but a click of a button to drop a like if you guys are getting any value. I'm not here selling anything to you guys. I'm not here, asking of anything. All I'm asking is of an energy exchange and for you guys to reciprocate that same energy. And if you want to dislike this video, by all means, go ahead and do so. But go ahead and make sure as you've disliked it to drop in the comments what I can do better. Because in order for me to grow, I need to know and get feedback from each and every single one of you guys as to how can I break this down more simple for each and every single one of you guys to understand this information. Because at the end of the day, my goal is a lot bigger than even just y'all. It's a lot bigger than me. And so I'm receptive to, both positive and negative feedback to help me grow, overall to help the masses grow. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. So it says, this letter serves as a formal notice that my rights as a consumer have been violated during a recent credit transaction that occurred at your dealership. On or about the date I applied for vehicle financing through your office during that transaction, my credit report was accessed and forwarded to no fewer than 15 entities, resulting in 15 hard inquiries. So the more that you insert your story as well, too, the better that this will be. This was very generic, but this is still drafting up a letter for you guys. A lot of you guys don't know how to draft up a letter, don't know any case law studies, don't know how to put into words with how you guys have been infringed upon. I was not provided a proper Truth in Lending disclosure as required under 15 U.S.C. 1601. I did not authorize the mass distribution of my credit files to multiple lenders. This constitutes a violation of the FCRA 1681B F. I have not, to date, I have not received a proper adverse action notice under the FCRA 1681M, nor a specific explanation for credit denial under Equal Credit Opportunity 1692D. I also believe that I was discriminated on the basis of age and race, factors prohibited under the Equal Credit Opportunity Act. Under Williams v. Public Finance Corp. And Morning v. Family Publications, you were obligated to provide clear credit terms and disclosures, yet failed to do so. Moreover, your actions have materially harmed my credit standing. Furthermore, in Dennis v. BEH1 LLC, unauthorized inquiries were ruled actionable. Your misuse of my consumer report is not only negligent, but actionable under federal law. As defined in 15 U.S.C. 1602E, credit is a right granted, and I, as a private individual, am the creditor extending this right in this transaction. Your failure to acknowledge this and facilitate a fair transaction constitutes deceptive conduct. All right, so how many of y'all are like, yo, I've known this, but I didn't know how to put this into words. I didn't know how to actually draft up a letter around these laws. Like, yo, I've been watching your teachings for some time. I watched that one video on how can one be denied their God-given right, but I still didn't understand fully how to put into words a letter that is going to allow me to fully elaborate on how I've been abused, harassed, deceived, on how this is unfair, on how this is inaccurate. Or I've never been able to fully interpret it and break it down into a letter. Well, this is here to save y'all time. This is here to save y'all energy. And this is here to help you guys at the end of the day get things done. The only way we can get things done is by communicating with these companies. Excuse me, let me go blow my nose real quick. All right, my nose and my stuffiness is about gone. I got a little bit left. I don't know if y'all heard the last live, but I couldn't even speak on it. It was crazy. But now that I'm doing this call, it wants to come back up again. So give me a second. Let me go blow my nose, and I'll be right back out here. And there are next steps as well, too, that it's going to generate and draft up for you. If you want to do a CFPB complaint, it'll draft up a CFPB letter for you, etc. It'll literally do the exact process that we're doing on our end for you guys on your end to help you guys take action. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is about, is you guys taking action. I believe that with this, more letters can be sent out, and it's just a lot more efficient than any credit repair company working on your report, because at the end of the day, about 95% of these companies are using AI to run their credit repair companies nowadays. So I'm like, yo, why hold something that I know I've been using and our company's been using, and I've been paying VAs to use an AI that I've literally programmed, when I can just give it to the people and they can do the exact same thing for themselves and insert their own stories, their own situations, and it'll draft back up a letter for them, and verbatim of how I would be able to do so for them as well. But let me bring down the cost for this as well too, because if I could help people fix their credit, if I could help them get these things off of their credit reports, now we can work on funding. Now we can work on actually acquiring personal funding, business funding. And this is where things start to actually get spicy. And this is where things actually, are like, okay, the goals that we've set out to do, they are right there. They're right before our eyes. And, we are able to invest into $50 million, $20 million multifamily deals. We are able to together put our money together and, buy these 200 unit plus, multifamily assets, right? We're able to do these things together as one. Now, as I've helped these people fix their credit, once again, we're making money together. I'm making them passive income, and now we can go out, buy land together, build on this land, build the communities, build the, at the end of the day, what I've always had the aspirations of doing and what we're doing overseas already right now is having that community where people can come and holistically heal. Now, I've been plant-based since 2021. I believe it is now 2020, late 2020. It was like September of 2020. It was either September of 2020 or September of 2021. Who knows? All right. It's been 4 years now. I've been plant-based, and it's not about being plant-based. I don't know. Y'all gotta go plant-based. All right. That's not what I'm here to talk about. That's why y'all probably don't even know that I'm plant-based. It's about the way of living and your way of just being more aware of what it is that you're putting into your body, and understanding that even being plant-based, that the society and the matrix, they're putting things in our produce. They're, feeding these animals steroids, and, they're pumping them up with, antibiotics and all these things to overall lower our frequencies and keep us at a low state. And so once we start to move different and we're able to grow our own things and, have real organic produce, and, our animals that we are eating, we know what they're eating and they're able to free range, live. And when we do kill these animals to eat them, we're actually praying over them and giving thanks to them. And every piece of that animal's body is being used for something else as well too. Right. And we're not just doing it and eating meat, every single day. So that's what's our family, and that's always what we've been building and work towards building. And so even other goals of mine outside of what I mentioned there, long-term end-term goals are coming to fruition as well too. In terms of working with the youth and giving back to the youth in the athletic space, and that's something I've always aspired to do, and it's already coming to fruition now. We're actually raising the capital for it as well to do the things that were once a 10-year goal, but now they're here right in front of us. And so with this AI, I believe, and the reason why I bring all of that up is it's going to help all of those goals, that were a lot further out, come a lot quicker, because you guys are all going to be able to take more action. And like y'all seen how quick it generated that letter. I cannot, with the knowledge that I have, no guru, no nothing can generate a letter as quick as that just did right then and there. And it's got all of the documents I've created. It's got all of the ebooks that I've created since 21, all compiled into this configuration and the coding within it. So, this is powerful. There's still a lot more to be added to it, to be done with it. I'm looking to bring this and put this in, an app to where you guys can have this on your phones and literally ask it questions, submit any or insert any files, and it'll literally draft up whatever you need done for you from those files. And so that's just what we're here. That's what we're creating. That's the power of this. And so that's where I've been putting my time, energy, and focus. And that's why I'm not taking on any clients. And I'm headed back overseas to go, and make even more connections so that y'all are good everywhere, not just here in America. But if y'all want to go to Southeast Asia, y'all are good. If y'all want to go to Mexico, y'all are good. Or y'all have got the connections. If y'all are going for specific things, I need clothing. I'm looking for hemp clothing. I'm looking for, wool clothing. I'm looking for 100% cotton. I'm looking for high frequency fabrics. Right? I'm not looking for this polyester bullshit. I'm looking for real life fabrics, right? We got the connections for that. I'm looking for natural nuts, right? Macadamia nuts. I'm looking for what is it that you guys are looking for, right? We're going to have the connections for all of that. That's what we've been doing as we've been traveling the world. In India, I'm connected with the #1 world regenerative. He got gold in the #1 world regenerative farming. He's got the most organic and fertile soil on his farm in India, right? This is like worldwide, not nationwide, worldwide, #1 world regenerative. He got gold in the #1 world regenerative, etc. I don't know the whole naming of it. Met him at the Natural Product Expo in LA. We got connected. He said, yo, you come to India, you're going to be more than taken care of. So I say this all to say, once again, not to impress you, family, but to impress upon you what we are building. It's not even, I would say, special, but it's sacred, right? And if you're looking for more, if you want more, now is the time, to take action. So set up that call down below, to speak with me, one of our team members. And if you guys are looking to get more inside access to what it is that we do have going on, let's see if you do qualify. Go ahead and schedule that call down below. Me and my team will send you guys the link to fill out the questionnaire. We'll see your response and your answers within it. If it aligns, if it's something that we align with, we would love to work with you guys. We would love to grow with you guys and help you guys grow personally. But above all else, I appreciate you all for being here. Like I said, I wanted to keep this about 30 minutes or less, and I believe that we've done such. So let me show you guys actually real quick. We'll go a little bit longer. Let me show you guys the next steps. All right, it says send this letter via certified mail with return receipt. Step 2, create a CFPB and FTC complaint. If ignored or unresolved, move to arbitration. Step number 4, keep documentation of all applications and rejection to support discrimination claims. Create me a CFPB and Attorney General complaint. I like to do Attorney General complaints, especially with dealerships. In whatever state you guys are in, filing that Attorney General complaint through there. Right, so you will file this online at the CFPB website. The product, auto loan or lease, the lead tells you step by step. Okay, on blank, I visited the dealership to purchase a vehicle and applied for financing. During this process, the dealership submitted my credit application to no fewer than 15 different third-party lenders, causing 15 hard inquiries on my consumer report without my full understanding or consent or written authorization in violation of the FCRA 15 U.S.C. 1681B. I was not given the necessary credit terms, disclosures, or any specific financial offer as defined under Truth in Lending 1602, which defines credit as a right granted. I was denied credit and I told I would receive an adverse action letter, yet to this date, I have not received any such letter, which violates the FCRA and equal credit opportunity. Furthermore, I believe I was discriminated against due to my age and race, both protected classes under the equal credit opportunity. This dealership failed to provide me with a legitimate, non-discriminatory explanation for my denial. I'm writing the Bureau investigate this practice, because the Bureau, we know, is the CFPB of sending credit applications to multiple lenders without full consumer awareness. Failure to provide required legal disclosures and protect discriminatory lending practices. Request resolution, blank, and then it gave me a template for an Attorney General complaint as well. Boom, I'm filing, and it's just gonna reword it a little bit different. So if y'all like that, if y'all like what you see, if you don't know how to file an Attorney General, it'll really tell you exactly how. It'll give you guys the links for the CFPB, etc. So I do see we got one individual whom is grateful, Miss Leah Jensky, excuse me. Great for new connections and opportunities to serve and grow. I love that. And at the end of the day, that's what it's about. And when people, we look at, I don't even want to get into any, right, we look at a lot of these messiahs and these disciples and people that are still talked about to this day that lived hundreds of years to thousands to tens of thousands of years ago, right? And they're still talked about, right? You know, Mayat and, you know, the list goes on, the Egyptian gods out there, right? All of these people, right? The Jesuses, Yeshuas, right? The Muhammads, the Buddhas, the Krishnas, right? We hear and we hear all of these people. And I love with what you led with, Leah. And it's just to serve, opportunities to serve and to grow. And as you serve, the more you serve, the more you'll grow. And that's just all that these individuals, you know, prided themselves on, was just serving. And every day they were asking themselves, yo, how can I serve more? What can I do more to serve more? It's always been bigger than them. As I started out this call, it's bigger than y'all. It's bigger than me. You know, it's a billion lives. And all right, man. We're wrapping up. So if I can leave y'all with anything today, is to serve. See how you can serve those around you more. If you guys are in a, you know, stagnant point in your life, ask yourself, who or, you know, where can I serve? Because I can tell you guys this much from my standpoint, my perspective, and just my journey. What's led me here to this point is just serving. You know, all of you guys were led here to this point because my intentions have always been pure. My intentions have always been the intentions to serve, to just give. right? Because I understand that as I give, the universe will always, these are literally literal laws of this universe, right? The law of giving. And as you guys give, right, I challenge y'all, look into the seven spiritual laws of success, right? The seven spiritual laws of success by Deepak Chopra. And one of them is the law of giving and the law of karma, right? And what you give out into this world, from intentions to, your actions to words, you will always receive, you will always get back. I promise you, I promise. Everywhere I go, certain people, I'm always complimenting. If there's something that I like, I'm not just gonna pass by that person and like let them, I don't gotta always exchange information with this person, but yes, this is a great conversation starter. And if they stop and if they start to talk more, and if I'll peep and I'll read the energy as to whether or not we can connect. But my intention isn't, I want something out of them. I want to connect with them. So I'm going to tell them this because I want to connect with them. My intentions are, I really love what they got. And I want to let them know, I love your hair. I love your shoes. I love your style. I love what it is that you got going on. I love it. It's fire. It's clean. I like it. And from there, I can't tell you guys the amount of people I've connected with just from giving compliments, just from, giving and being in that place of giving, right? And giving doesn't always have to be in a form of materialistic things at all. I just told you guys things that I've given, compliments that have literally gotten me into, in connection with guys that earn $600 million plus a year, and it's not about the money at all, but it's about, these are the type of people that I'm looking to attract. And as you put these things out into the universe, I promise you'll attract these people into your life. And now these opportunities will arise, and now it's for you to take action on these opportunities. I like your shirt, of this guy who is wearing a shirt that says, "We will fund your next deal." Where what is it that you do? I'm a private lender. We lend for real estate, for real estate deals. Let's connect. I'm in the real estate. Boom. So I'm telling y'all this all to tell you guys to lead with love, lead with the right intentions, and I promise y'all everything you want and more will come to you. Appreciate y'all. Y'all stay blessed, stay protected, and if y'all need anything, schedule a call down below. Peace and love.